Hi guys, and welcome back to the next in our series of the CRO Playbook series. Now, today is quite an important webinar session because ultimately, like you've probably seen so far, if you've been to previous webinars, all of the webinars that we're doing are very practical. And we wanted to kind of take a step back today because what we realized is that a lot of the techniques that we were talking about were more about, okay, what do you do now you have the data to then go and make those improvements to see your conversion rate and your average order going up. Now, what we're going to do today is actually, let's say, take a step back. And what we're going to do is be looking at how do you actually get the damn data in the first place? What is the data that you need to be able to then go make those decisions about making those changes on the site? And that's really kind of what today is all focused on. Now, during the course of today, guys, we are going to be joined in a moment with my co-hosts, which is Shwetank and Namin, who I'm going to introduce very shortly. And as well with this as well, guys, we are going to be doing live teardowns at the end of the webinar. So do stay tuned for those. If you didn't get selected today, guys, don't worry. We'll be in touch with some more information about how we can help. And there will be more opportunities on our next one to get the live teardowns done as well. Okay, so without further ado then, guys, what I am going to do is start off with a couple of introductions. And rather than just show you this lovely slide of the three of us on the screen, I'm going to bring them all onto stage. So Namin, Shwetank, great to see you guys.
Hi, everyone.
But I think, look, we've been talking about this webinar for a while now, and I think, we probably all agree is that all the things that we can do on the front end are great, but ultimately we need to work out where we're going to get those insights from in the first place. And I guess that's what we're going to do today, really, isn't it?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you, guys. And I know you're all geeky in terms of CRO and data, I'm going to try and make sure that I add some value from that perspective as well, because as you very rightly said, a lot of people get obsessed by what they want to do on the front end, but rarely it's driven by data because visitors are different, traffic sources are different, and there's so many funnels, etc. So looking forward to the conversation.
Awesome. And if you are a geek, just write geek in the comments and we can sing you out later as well, and maybe sing some more technical stuff as well. Cool. Okay. Well, what we are going to do, as I said then, is we are going to kind of pretty much dive into it. But before we do, I just want to give you a little bit more information about us as Blend. So Blend as an agency where Namin and myself are from, we are a CRO agency. So what does this mean? Well, it means two very simple things. Ultimately, what we try to do is to, number one, make sure that anyone new coming to a website buys. And secondly, when we have people coming back to the site again and again, are they continuing to buy? And that's what we do with the companies that are shown on the screen here. So ultimately, diving into that data, working out what's working, what isn't working, fixing that, and then implementing and running A/B tests off the back of it. And a big thanks to Catherine Reeves, who's already admitted that she is a geek, and I appreciate you doing that. So Shwetank, let's move on to Kui. So tell us a bit about you guys and what you do.
So guys, we look at conversion optimization in a very different shape and form. What we try and do is gather all this data and the wonderful conversation that we're going to have and map it to purchase intent. So we understand two visitor journeys are never the same. Everybody arriving from different sources with different ads and stuff, they behave differently on the website. And Kui calculates where every visitor is in the buying journey and then personalizes their on-site experience for conversion optimization and ROAS boosts.
Excellent. And I think, look, this is what we are going to do today in terms of both from our side as Blend and also from Kui's side in terms of Shwetank, is to go into those different sources of data and show you exactly what it is you can find and the kind of things that you can then do to then use that. So first of all, then what we're going to do is we are going to dive into, I guess, look, the Blend side of it. Where are the places that we as a CRO agency look for data, and what are the kind of things that we're looking for when we do that? Now, to do that, what I'm going to do is hand over to Namin, and Namin is going to take us through this section. If you have any questions as we go through the presentation today and through the webinar, just pop them into the comments, regardless of whichever channel you're watching on. We will do our absolute best to answer those as best as we can during the webinar. And if we can't, we'll just get in touch with you after as well. So Namin, how are you? Should I pass it over to you?
Yes, actually, I am so excited because, in our previous webinar, we shared our experiments results. In this webinar, we will explain how we can create hypotheses by using the data. And in the first part, I will explain 4 tactics by using GA4 and Shopify Analytics. Of course, you can use a different analytics platforms, I guess. But in this webinar, after the webinar, you can open your analytics. You can implement you can create the first reports. Okay, can I start?
Yeah, fantastic.
Okay, let's start the first tactics. First of all, maybe our attenders can reply to chat comments area. How many actually attendees, participants use GA4? I would like to learn. Let's start. Actually, if you use a GA4, you will see Google will provide lots of the demographic data, because if you use Android, yes, you can. Google can track it. I don't want to say, but someone says Big Brother is watching us actually. And I will, as a marketing side, I would like to explain how we can use the audience reports. First of all, I will share some dummy data. It's not a real client data. We exported this data. We integrated with a Looker Studio. So if you don't see any classic GA4 report, please, no worries. Data comes from the GA4. Just because of the data privacy, we use the Looker Studio, because we take care client data privacy. Okay, first of all, you need to know your audience, because you will create some campaigns. But if you don't know, for example, how many percentage comes from the USA, UK, you can't provide the specific shipping opportunities or free shipping rules. I would like to explain the real case study. You can see sessions by device category, also browser category. Actually, maybe 2 months ago, we realized, checking the GA4 data, one of the Google browser extremely lower conversion rate. We couldn't understand why. Later, we tracked the issue, checking GA4, and later watched the session recording on the Microsoft Clarity platform, and we discovered there's a issue actually. Unfortunately, Google do not support the specific express checkout options, and unfortunately our visitor couldn't finish their buying journey. So we discovered this issue only checking the GA4 data weekly. And you can see data insights. Could you please carry on the next slide? And yes, we suggest you need to analyze data by user type, new visitor, returning visitor, by gender category, or also by city. And in this case, you can see interest data. It comes from from Android and Safari browser. If you use a Google Chrome browser, you install some extensions, and Google tracks your interest. Also, Google Ads catch us on the web, and they know our interest, because we visit different websites in the same day. And during the CRO audit, we checked the audience interest report for our CRO audit client, and we discovered actually interesting insight. What is that? We observed our audience watched the American football, American football play, how I can say, basketball fans, and tends to buy snack from our client. Okay, data, we know, a specific segment, specific audience have a higher conversion rate. Okay, what is the next step? Next step, our client decided to implement the same image on the product detail page. For example, while I was watching the basketball play, and I can eat the client actually products. And second insight and second action for the client decided to being a sponsor for these actually some teams, and so we can target the real audience are related to our company. Next slide, please. Another insights from the data. You can see we can analyze the data by gender, also by age, and we have a brand, and this brand actually target the, I don't want to say, but elderly people is after the 55, because they sell some like a hobby products. And by checking the GA4 data, we discovered the different pattern. Actually, unfortunately, this audience unfortunately can't buy anything on mobile, and they prefer using the desktop device, because actually some elderly people use a large screen resolutions. And after we understand our audience, actually the brand's audience unfortunately can't read the product detail page. And next step from data insight, we changed the layout. You can see we give an opportunity to change the layout. They can see the text. And another action, we changed the font of the text description on the product detail page. You can see I have already shared 3 different actions by using only GA4 audience data. I guess lots of the participants can say, okay, we use a GA4, but you need to change your actually overview to data. Half of the visitors are female. It's not correct. Maybe you need to focus on what are the their actions on the websites. Could you please carry on to another tactic?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think what's always interesting, isn't it, when we talk about GA4 is, I think it's the fact that, look, you described that, Amin, you're looking at different sources to back up a hypothesis or a hunch that you have. And I think this is the interesting thing with CRO, isn't it? There's sometimes this expectation that, look, with CRO, it can be just, look, okay, it's ideas in someone's head. They then go and test those things. Sometimes, okay, it's just GA4 data. What you've obviously said there is that, look, that isn't the case, and that there might be an idea or a hunch that we have. You're then verifying that with the GA4 data. You're then also using heat mapping software to back up if those businesses are doing the things that you think that they are doing or not doing. And at that point, then that's when you're actually making the test. And I think that's the problem sometimes, isn't it, that we jump in far too quickly without getting a stronger picture of actually the full thing that's going on, because we have other sources to verify those ideas that we've already got. And I think that's just something really important for everyone to remember, is that when you are using, your data to decide what to do, combine those sources together to back up and verify those ideas and tools that you get from the different platforms that are available.
Yes, by the way, you are right. Another problem based on my experience in 10 years, and companies actually have lots of the data source, CRM data, GA4 data. Maybe UX team use a different survey platform, but unfortunately these teams or these members never talk each other. They never share their data source, and GA4 will only say, okay, there's a problem on the specific browser, but you need to check another actually data solution, session recording, you need to watch. Or maybe next step, and Qui maybe will show the bigger font pop-ups for the specific audience. And yes, you are right, actually we need to talk each other in the company, also different agency. Also Adam, we always work SEO teams closely, because SEO and UX are actually very related to increase the organic visit, also increase in the conversion rate. We always work together.
Absolutely. And I think, look, it's a good point. I'm sure Shweta, you see the same, is that, that sometimes when we're thinking about, taking action, there is sometimes very little discussion between ads teams, SEO teams, PPC teams, CRO teams. we kind of need that cohesion, really, don't we, to make these things actually come to life.
Yeah, and again, I think, I mean, what you talked about is classical problems of data silos. Different platforms don't talk to each other. You don't get the holistic view of things, and that's where you don't make the hypothesis based on proper data, and of course the tests don't go in the right direction then, right? So yeah, completely agree there.
Cool. Well, let's go on to tactic 2 then, Namin, and I think we're now going to talk about Shopify Analytics, aren't we?
Yes, and maybe if you attend our previous actually webinar, you can remember we showed if we place the search bar, we can actually we tested it. We placed it the search bar instead of the search icon, but we emphasize it. You need to have a strong search app in your Shopify store, because in this case you can see that this data actually real case study. Normally we observe the pattern if any users use the search on the website, and always we observe they often tends to buy a product. However, in this case we discovered, unfortunately, any visitor used the search bar, unfortunately they do not buy any product from websites. Also, we can say lower conversion rate rather the non usage of the search. And why? You can see I added some real case study, and we discovered, okay, there's a problem. By doing a CRO audit, we discovered a problem and we reported. And client, just a second, I am checking. Could you please carry on the next slide? I will show we informed the client. Client actually, we checked the Shopify Analytics search data. It looks we have a problem because it looks actually your search app does not work very well, and we also can reach the non-results keywords. For example, any clients try to kit product, kit shoes. Unfortunately, they can't see any product because their app, unfortunately, search app, they not any support the synonyms, or they need to search child or shoes. Unfortunately, they try to kit shoes. Unfortunately, we do not show any product. And different concept we observed. You can see warranty. Lots of visitors try to find warranty, and we can understand based on the search report, non-result search reports, our visitors would like to learn warranty before buying any product, because in this case study they need to pay 100 USD minimum, and they would like to learn warranty. But unfortunately, we didn't actually, brand didn't place any warranty info to product detail page, and we discovered any actually insight. Later, next step, we tested adding the warranty on accordion menu, also placing the warranty icon under the add to cart button, and we actually reached the high conversion rate. And you can see we only checked the Shopify Analytics non-results report, and at the moment one of the clients assigned to this task. Every quarter actually we check this data, non-results keywords, because they trust us. Okay, maybe you will discover new patterns. And I highly recommend checking the Shopify Analytics search bar reports.
Yes, I think the report itself is called Shopify No Results, isn't it? And I think, if you are listening and you haven't checked that out, definitely do can have a look at that. We've done a number of audits recently, and I would say that often we are seeing in some for the ones that we've done, between about 10 and 35% of searches coming back with no results. Now, if you think about that in real terms, that is the equivalent of, let's say, you have a brick and mortar shop. If you had 10 to 30% of people coming into the store asking about a product and the shop assistant not actually providing with anything, that is exactly what is happening on your site. So if you haven't looked at that already, do go ahead and have a look at that after the webinar. Really, really valuable one to go and have a look at.
Okay, actually, we will provide more in their actually live demo, but I would like to show elapsed time metric in GA4. For example, your visitors visit the homepage, and after maybe 30 minutes, they decide to choose a product, and they will visit the product detail page. And in GA4, you can actually calculate how many minutes, how many days between the steps. For example, sometimes we observe, especially landing page lead generation company, it will take actually 1 day to decide to filling the form, because like a B2B client especially. But in e-commerce Shopify clients, we observed it will take 2 minutes actually in the product detail page. Maybe you need to create a new campaigns. For example, if any user spends 3 minutes, 5 minutes, okay, we can understand. Normally we expect the 2 minutes is the next step, reaching the next step, like a cart or checkout. But in this case, maybe we need to show the discount code after the 5 minutes. And I observe actually lots of visitors show the pop-ups randomly. When I visit the page, okay, I need to close turn off the 5 pop-ups. But if you calculate the time metrics, elapsed time metrics, you can understand, you can optimize actually your behavior on the websites. Also, you can change your email strategy. Maybe it will take 3 days to sending a new offer, because we will observe, okay, we understand our client or actually visitors will buy car product in 3 days, because they will research on the blogs and the forums, they will watch the YouTube videos, they will not buy the product in the same day. It will take time. Maybe we will send first day we will send the YouTube video, second day we will send a discount code, and third day final they will purchase actually.
And I think just to add in there, Zanemin, if anyone watching this as well wants obviously get access to the slides so they can go and obviously dig into some of the things that Namin has talked about here, you will be getting those after the webinar as well. So don't worry if you have those in. Namin, we do have a question that is quite a specific one, but I'm going to throw this up there, and actually, because I think this might be quite of interest to everyone who's tuning in. So Hamza asks, hi there, I have a few questions. One, does having a sticky add to cart button help or is not recommended? Can we name the add to cart button something slightly different, like get yours now? And 3, what is the effect of good ads that are bringing people onto your website and the metrics like revenue possession? So yeah, a lot of questions there, Namin. I don't know if you want to chip into them, and Shwetank, you as well.
Can I start? Maybe?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, first of all, we tested a few times sticky add to cart button, and it worked very well. Especially you present different variants, and we observe variant 1, variant 2, and later, unfortunately, add to cart button is below default. And we placed the sticky call to action button. Any client, any visitor, when visit the website product detail page, they can learn pricing. They don't need to every time to scroll. And yes, actually we have a case study by using the add to cart, sticky add to cart, but I can say it will be winner actually. I always say you need to test it actually. For example, second question, you ask it the changing the call to action button. I can't say it will work, it will not work. Just I know it's a generic add to back, add to carts, or visitors are very familiar. But sometimes some clients say get a £20 discount. They say actually add to, they don't want to say add to back, but you can test it. What is the effect of good sales bringing people on your website or in register? Actually, we always analyze the data by category. For example, it depends on Google Ads campaign. For example, GDN campaign, you visit any blog post, accidentally you click on the ads. We never actually show the increasing conversion rate. Some campaigns, especially GDN campaigns, targets the increasing the audience, reaching the more audience. And however, maybe our client decided to retargeting campaign by using the Google Ads. And yes, it's perfect. And we are extremely happy if they decide to spend more budget. And it depends actually. It depends on the campaign, Google Ads campaign. But we always analyze the results by segments: organic or Facebook paid marketing, Google Ads retargeting, Google Ads, for example, GDN, and that's all.
Thanks, Namin. Sure thing. And from your perspective, anything on there that you see in your world?
Sure. I would agree with Namin on most of the points there, Adam. But from my my words to that is sticky add to cards, definitely a yes. It definitely helps, especially on the mobile side as well. And now even the add to cart buttons can be customized from so many perspectives. Order value. We actually even go a little bit further is to see that if it's a first time visitor, then you put something else. Repeat customer who's buying regularly, you add some different kind of things there. So that kind of really helps. Then add to cart, the text, I would really say get creative, because you're trying to get the attention of everybody who's on the store right now, and everything around them is trying to get them off the mobile phone so that they don't buy. So of course, depending on the kind of product you are, kind of category, the age group, and all those things really matter. But the holy grail of this is you got to test it. Right? But another big part of testing is where we come from, Adam. If a brand comes to us and says that we have less than 50,000 visitors a month, I'm like, don't care about A/B testing at this stage. Go and optimize, do things better, but you don't have that minimum traffic threshold for you to lose your sleep over that, but just try to improve everything. And the third part, very quickly there, see, ads are, of course, how people look at your retail store from outside, right? So you gotta have the hook, you gotta be quick, you gotta go and try and remove all the reservations somebody can have around the product. Like Namin mentioned about warranty. If the ad has something on warranty, then they'll come to the website with two less things to worry about, right? Yeah. But the other side of that is, guys, we don't know who's really coming, because this is a black box, right? So Google and Facebook are trying to put together people to send it, but what you can control is what you show them on your store. And that's why I think bringing ads is one thing, and that can really change, but what you show them outside is equally important.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much. That's great. And Hamza, I think you got a good answer there from both of the guys. So fantastic. Cool. Okay. Well, what we'll do now then is let's move on to the next tactic from Namin, and I'll hand back over to you.
Yes, last one. I don't want to spend more time because less quit time. Okay. Another tactics from the Shopify Analytics again. A real case study. By conducting user tests, we actually hear from the our participants. We receive a feedback, same feedback. They need the specific info on the product detail page, and actually it's related to brand, and unfortunately they can't find the specific dimension, specific technical info is related to product. And we inform it, okay, we watched this real user test video, we observe it, we definitely need to add this info. Client, okay, but unfortunately you can see 40, yes, actually 4100, I can't see products, and unfortunately we can't add the all product detail page. Later, okay, let's test it before, and we choose the most visited product detail page, and we tested adding this info. We observe it. Yes, if we add this info, it will increase conversion rate. Okay. Usability testing data, A/B testing, and later, next step, we would like to implement it. But how it's possible? Maybe it will take 1 year, because they need to talk with each sellers. They need to collect this data. Later, we check up the Shopify Analytics data, Shopify Analytics reports. You can see ABC analysis by product. Maybe you have a 100 product, but 20 products generously 80 of 80% of the total revenue. And could you please check the second? Yes, 410 different products. And yes, and later we created a spreadsheet actually by using the Shopify Analytics report, Shopify landing page, and add to cart rate, bounce rate, conversion rate. And we analyzed the data and we merged the different data source, ABC reports and the landing page reports, and we chose the 50 product detail page. Most revenue generated, most visited landing page, and client, first of all, they prioritized this first landing page, and later, we added and our conversion rate increased it. Next month we will add, for example, 50 new product detail page. And you can see we used the Shopify Analytics data to optimize our website after the A/B testing results. So you can use data anytime. And yes, that's all. If you have any question, I would like to answer
Fantastic,
it.
Namin. Thank you very much. And guys, Namin is going to be joining us. He's going to be staying with us, but he's going to be coming back towards the end of our session today. We should be looking at some live teardown. So those of you guys who have applied for a live teardown, do stay tuned just to see what Namin has got to say about your store and hopefully give you some tips. So at this point then, Chwetang, I'm going to hand over to you, sir. And first of all, I think you've got to introduce us to Kui, and then you're going to give us a rundown about how to use data in your world.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. You've done most of the talking, both of you. I don't think we should just shut early and just leave right now. But maybe I'll try to present the entire data and its importance from a different perspective. So and looking forward for you guys to ask questions and go down deep, right? So let me try and present my screen now. Perfect. All right, just to check, you guys are able to see my screen?
One sec. Yep, good to go.
Perfect. So, guys, let me give you a quick introduction of what we do at Kui. And, then I'm going to take you through the platform, the data sources, and how to spot the data, the challenges in conversion funnels, and not just, see what went wrong, but how can we actually fix and mend it, right? So Kui comes in that perspective that when brands spend a lot of money on targeting and segmenting their visitors on the ads, they bring those visitors on the Shopify store. But the way websites behave is website assume every single visitor landing is ready to buy. And every conversion optimization expert there knows that this is not true approximately 98-97% of the times. Also, just look at it from a different perspective that when we look at Meta, we look at Google, etc., they have advanced tremendously because of technology in the past decade. The speed of ad creation, targeting, retargeting, data collection, etc., right? This has gone so amazingly well, but websites still haven't evolved in that way. So with all the advancement in targeting, when the visitor lands on the website, what Kui does is we combine GA, Shopify, Hotjar, and Clarity kind of a thing. We look at 200 plus events, clicks, and behaviors, what every single visitor is doing on your store. And we feed this data into an AI. And this AI is continuously learning on how are people buying on your store, what the successful customer journeys are. And then it tells us what is the buying intent of that visitor. And then based on this buying intent, we personalize their on-site experience across collection page, home page, product page, cart page, with a bunch of all the customizations that we can do, right from announcement bar to banners to bundles to pop-ups to widgets to video and progress bars and stuff like that. So Kui is a tool that helps you not just find the leaks, but also automates how to engage with every visitor in that very session. Because when you are bringing a visitor, brands are paying a lot of money to do that. And traditional personalization works in such a way that either it segments everybody into 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 segments that you want to, or they wait to deliver this kind of experience when the customer comes back the next time and the brand had to pay retargeting money for that. So giving you this, basic thesis and hypothesis of how we work, let me kind of go deep down into how the platform is built, which is data first. So first insight that I want to talk about that we deliver is this view, which is very, very unique in the industry. So what we've done is we've done a meta integration. And with this, we are able to pull down all the ads that you're running, what is the amount of money that you're spending, what's the ROAS, and what's the click, and then combine this meta side of data along with Shopify in one report. So the ad, what traffic it brings, and then what's happening inside the funnel for it, so that you can actually see which ads are working for you, which ads are not working for you. And from a conversion optimization perspective, you can find out if this ad is giving you X ROAS and this is a click, but your funnels inside the Shopify store is dropping at these touch points, then you would want to increase your session to add to cart rate or the add to cart to purchase rate, so that overall funnel gets improved, which is the conversion rate and also the revenue that you can draw from it. Right. So this view really helps the marketer to get a full picture, because I wish I made a penny every time when people said that my ROAS is very nice, but the conversion is a problem, and vice versa, and things like that, right? So this is very data driven, and of course this also helps you plan the budgets in a very effective way, because like we said, Meta, Google, etc. are the biggest black box in the world, that we like it and we don't like it for whatever reason. So now going much more granular into this, and please, I can't see the questions, Serene. So guys, if you have something, please go pop it into it, and happy to answer any questions. Going to this further, then what we do is the page where the traffic is coming from, and which can be different UTM sources, which can be again organic, Google, Meta, or can be your retargeting campaigns via Klaviyo, email, WhatsApp, SMS, or whatever, right? So we look at where the traffic is coming, what the source is, and after that, then we break it down, those funnels, into different intent buckets. So the low intent bucket, the medium intent bucket, and a high intent bucket. If your performance marketing is a funnel, so should be your website. But it's not the case today. That's why the purchase intent calculation is so critical, because when you are at the low intent level, what you're trying to do is when the visitor lands, they spend more than 3 seconds, etc., but they're not really clicking forward. One of the worst mistakes that brands still continue doing is, as soon as somebody lands, present them with a 20% off sign up pop-up. Hey, I'm coming to your website for the first time. I want to understand what you do. I am not ready to buy. But some of them might still sign up, end up getting a lot of fill rates on your emails and Klaviyo costs going up and all those problems, but the conversion rate really doesn't change. Medium intent are the visitors in today's language are the perfect social media scrollers. So they go from collection to home to collection, surfing around, etc. But they don't spend substantial time on any single SKU. So they need to be guided for them to make a decision. And high intent visitors spend a lot of time on specific product pages. They show inclination towards the product, and then using social proof, using FOMO, using discounting, or using all those tactics to remove the obstacles they have in the head, the conversion can go ahead. So how we become very data driven is when we laser focus on every single funnel. It's very easy for us to see. So for example, let's look at this Facebook campaign, which got visitors to this particular PDP. We can see the medium intent visitors. So there are 219 visitors, and there are 2 add to carts and 1 purchase. So the funnel here was excellent, and here this funnel can definitely be optimized. And the high intent, we see 27 high intent visitors but 0 add to carts. So what we'll try to do is then do all the strategy of landing page customization and the personalization to increase add to carts for this particular funnel. Because if I'm able to increase this 27 to a few add to carts, my entire conversion funnel will improve. So this kind of laser driven strategy, which is very sharp and very, very focused, is how the platform automates engagement for every single source of traffic and every single visitor in that very session. And I want to actually show you how we do the whole session for every single visitor in real time. So we run different campaigns. Every campaign talks about what is the visitor impression, and revenue, conversion rate, etc. Of course, this is a testing platform, but just to show you how we print out the customer journey and how AI takes into account every single click and every single behavior the visitor is doing in microseconds. So this is a sample customer journey. The visitor came from an Instagram, landed on the home page, then we delivered something, scrolled up 15%, then there was another thing going on, then they went ahead, looked at the product. So you see the intent is the same because they're just scrolling but not really moving forward. But then after that, the guy moves to a specific page, which is then the intent changes and AI understands that now the guy is kind of getting funneled inside. Then, this was the first session. Then the visitor came back for the second session. And then we saw different things. So we do widgets, we do embeds, we do pop-ups, bundling. So, there are different kind of elements that we're delivering on the front end. And then the visitor scrolled 11%, looked at this product, then scrolled 32%, went to another product, etc. And the scroll. So again, intent, which was medium, AI calculated that no, this guy is going back. So it became low. And then again, based on add to carts, etc., the intent went high. So imagine this is being done for every single visitor in real time. And that's why AI identifies when to talk to them, how to talk to them, in which page, etc. That's how kind of going and delivering an automated way to engage visitors to improve every single funnel.
And I think, for me, Shwetank, look, this is one of the great things about what you guys have got here, because like we were talking about earlier, when you have multiple data sources and then put it into action, that is the hardest thing to do, isn't it? And it's what you're doing is you're sort of automating part of that process.
Yeah.
I think what's important for me, as someone that, has run an agency for nearly a decade now, looking at what you've got here, this is a tool that can actually tie those teams together better.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Particularly when it comes to if you have a web development person, team, agency, and also then in terms of a paid agency, because that's always a difficult thing, isn't it? There are two sets of data being reported often, with each agency or each individual claiming that it's from their work or their input. But what you're doing here is that you're saying, look, actually, guys, collectively, what you guys are doing is having this impact, doing this thing. Yeah. And the tool is actually then doing the action that supports both of those. So I think, it could even act as a bit of a mediator between those PPC teams and the CRO teams as well.
Absolutely, Adam. And that's why, we're very fortunate that we get to work with you with a few brands as well. The learning is immense there because it's the collective part of what comes in. But at the end, all that allows us to have some data and then build an hypothesis. And then if you want to A/B test that, we can very well do that. You want to run this again, just going to the platform bit, what we can actually deliver on the front end is, again, product promotion, upsell, cross-sell, cart reminders, progress bars. We've recently launched videos as well. So build your own bundles, etc., etc. So all of this is possible. And just to show you how granular we can get in terms of targeting is we have like an entire Canva platform done here. So it makes creative automation very simple. No more limits to your creative. You can do what the heck you want to do here, etc. Again, add collect phone number, email, add countdown timers, do a lot of personalization, etc., etc. And once you do this, you can let AI deliver this uniquely for every single visitor based on intent and based on where the funnels were broken. Because no two customer journeys are alike. When people talk about Clarity, when people talk about Hotjar and all that thing, they are amazing tools, but also they have problems in operational bandwidth. Is how many journeys can you look at, right? So that, and then further going even down on targeting is because it, depending on the brand, depending on the AOVs, and depending on the usage, we always calculate how many sessions it take for the visitor to finally buy the product. So are they returning? Is it their second session? Is it their third session? Are they coming back? Who's the purchase visitor or the guy who's come but never purchased? Do you want to run abandoned cart test cases? You want to do filtering based on location? You want to do cart? You want to run this only for specific ads, specific UTM sources? We have a Klaviyo integration where we can inform Klaviyo when to deliver the pop-up, because Klaviyo doesn't have that functionality, but you still maintain your pop-up UI UX on Klaviyo. Again, A/B testing, split testing, and all those kind of configurations and features are available, so we can go very deep down into every single funnel and give you an overall impact on conversions.
Excellent. And I think, Shwetan, there's probably a lot of people watching this and saying, look, this looks great, but kind of how do we get started? I think you've got a sort of a bit of an offer for people watching, haven't you? Is that right?
Yes. So I'm going to move on to that. So again, in terms of starting out, it takes 30 seconds and 1 click to install GUI. And we guarantee that we are not going to impact your website loading speed at all. Right. And what we do is, along with Blend, we're happy to offer you a free audit as well, where we look at your data for 4 to 5 days. AI understands the customer journeys, etc. And we'll come back to you that these are your conversion funnel leakages, but also the strategies that we suggest we can implement to kind of get the upstick running, and work from there and learn together.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Shwetan. And guys, like I say, you've really just today sort of seen I guess, part of obviously what Shwetan and his team have built. We've been a partner now with Crew for a long time, and there is a lot more to what is on offer here than what obviously Shwetan's shown. But from that data perspective, I think what's very clear for me is this is going to give you some fantastic insights, not only to get those insights, but also then go and implement without actually having to do too much manually yourself. So fantastic tool. And obviously one of the reasons why we wanted to obviously have Shwetan on the webinar with us today to walk us through that. So Shwetan, thank you very much. What we are going to do at this point though, is we are going to go to our live teardowns. Now, in terms of live teardowns, people that applied to be on the webinar today did submit if they wanted one of these. What Namin has then done is going to take a look at a couple of these different sites. And basically what we are then going to do is run you through some thoughts and some ideas that Namin has come up. Unfortunately, obviously, this is not based on data. This is based more on what we can see and obviously Namin's experience within CRO. And then what we're going to do is then give you that as well. So what I will do at this point then, Namin, is if I stop sharing the slides for now, and what you can do is bring your screen up, and you can take us through what you have been looking at. And Shwetan as well, if you want to chip into this as well, and I will also jump into. I haven't actually seen any of these sites, but there are things that you want to sort of suggest and think about too. Let's make sure we do that as well. Cool. So Namin, let me bring up your screen here. And who is the first brand that we are looking at today?
Yes, this client actually, I would like to start on the collection page, because I see they have a lot of the collection page and another limited products, and I guess they need to start optimizing the collection page. But first of all, I need to say I don't have any data, and I will only share expert reviews. And actually, I work at one company before. I know visitors would like to buy a specific product. Unfortunately, I couldn't see any filters. They only have a collection subcategories. But I know audience actually needs some filters, like a alcohol percentage or origin, which country, for example, France or the different, Italy or the different. And I highly recommend adding more filters. And yes, we discussed it before. They can test it by placing the search bar. And let's check it. Another feedback from my background, we observed that some users have a list actually. For example, January they would like the specific wine, and next month, or maybe because you can see actually one product is not actually cheap, and I see 8,000 USD. So I remember this audience have a specific like a bucket list, so they can present it to favorite save for later feature. And for example, I can add to my list, and the brand target me easily. Non-paid marketing, they can collect my email data. Also, another feedback, if you sell high item products, and you need to say how we can send you like a shipping info, because I know from user testing, lots of user has a concern if it will be damaged, and sometimes brands as a image from the shipping, how we can package it like that. And we tested adding a accordion menu at Blend. We highly recommend adding the product description and materials and shipping, and actually I don't know the other percentage and which country origin. And that's all. Actually, I can talk until the next morning, but we have a limited time. I will choose a.
Yeah, I just have one comment there, Adam, that
Yes.
as Naveen said, that this is an expensive brand, right? They're trying to spell. So firstly, the website needs to look posh, needs to look rich, not very cheap, not have too much.
Mhm.
Hey, buy this, do this. People would kind of get offended, but also it's very important that people who are buying wine like these, they know the taste and they'll be very specific.
Mhm.
So what we do is we can add widgets and stuff like that where it says that if they are coming back after a month, for example, we put a widget saying buy again. That, and we've seen people doing checkouts in 30 seconds. It's very Amazon like behavior, but it really works. So yeah, something like that, and that can be very nicely done on the homepage or even the collection page, right? And then also recently viewed or abandoned carts as a widget as well, not just as a pop-up, because it will help them discover the products they were looking at much more faster and then enable faster checkouts.
Yes. Also, I remember some winner buyers care the meals. So, for example, can I drink this wine with a meal? And they can add some image from the. You can drink this wine with a cheese. I don't know, actually, but I remember from the different brands. Yes, it will be important.
Yeah.
And let's start another company
So
website.
who is this brand name in?
Sorry.
The name of the
Townhouse blankets.
Cool.
I really love it. Actually, first of all, I am not sure. Maybe it's not. Yes, it's not related to my browser. Actually, yes, we discovered some pattern on the website. Our visitors not only click on the call to action buttons, they also click on the cards. So we always try to clickable cards on the collection page. In this case, you only need to click on the shop sale, and otherwise you can reach the next product detail page or collection page. We highly recommend, because while watching the session recorded, we discovered it, and they think, okay, unfortunately this website does not work, they can think. And let's visit the product detail page. Yes, actually very wide navigation menu. Maybe first step, work on the responsive design. And actually, this week I tested again. You remember implementing thumbnails, and again, it's still be a winner for the different brands. I always shocked, but only adding to implement thumbnails always, actually based on my experience, it wins, and I highly recommend. And let's change. Adding a key value proposition, for example, free shipping guarantee. It's a possible they can is a unique maybe feature. No allergy, for example, no allergy guarantee. I don't know. They can place the add to cart button. Someone I remember Hamza asked the sticky call to action button, and we discovered the actually user behavior. So you can see the pop-ups like a newsletter pop-ups, and sometimes they place it the sticky button, and by conducting usability tests, or visitors think okay like add to cart. They don't read actually.
Yeah.
They don't read, and we never placing the sticky call to action button pop up. They try to okay I can't, and they leave. And I'm checking also time. Last one, modern home. Yes, actually, yes, same thing. Accordion menu. Then I would like to. I click on the add to cart. Oh, it's automatically I visit the cart page. Is related to your quantity per order. Quantity order per exit transaction. If you sell, for example, 5 products per transaction, your visitors needs every time back to product detail page or the collection page. So we do not recommend using the cart page instead of the cart driver, because in this case you will forward your visitor directly cart page. If you sell a computer is a perfect, or quantity order per transaction is a perfect, but in this case every time they need to click on the back button, they need to reach collection page, and I highly recommend testing using the cart driver actually. And maybe they can place the announcement bar if you have a limited discount or the free shipping. They have it actually. They can place this area. Last one, checking the collection page.
So quickly on the announcement bar, because I think they're talking about offers, we should have some kind of time-based urgency and FOMO with the announcement bar. Announcement bars can be different for first-time visitor, repeat visitor, and repeat customers as well. We can add
Perfect.
AOVs on top, also highlight some abandoned carts and stuff. And also on the kids website, right? It talks about Mother's Day, which is very nice. But then that's where I'd like to also create some kind of FOMO by saying social proof that only X remaining in stock. That could kind of help with the push and sales. And then there was a lot of text there. I would kind of reduce the text, but also create bundles, because that's very important from a kid's perspective. So that part, a few things, but of course test and see how they go.
Yes, also they can use a queue. Okay, that's all.
Excellent. Thank you very much, guys, and really appreciate you going through those with us and giving us your thoughts. And I think, look, this is the thing with CRO. Look, there are ideas, obviously, that look, Shwetank and obviously Namin have come up with there for those sites. But the next step now is, with those hunches and with those ideas, is going to use tools like QE, like GA4, like Shopify Analytics to go and find out if those hunches are actually things that you really then need to go and act on. So guys, in terms of next step, what is next? Well, what we're going to do is shortly after today, what I'm going to be doing is sending over a recording of today's session along with the slides as well. So you really be able to kind of dig into more of the detail that obviously Shwetank and Namin went through. Both Blend and QE are going to share some more resources that we think will be helpful for your perspective, not only just obviously with looking at CRO data, but also obviously with CRO in general. And then equally as well with that, if you do have any questions whatsoever that haven't been answered today during the webinar, do reach out to us. You'll have the email addresses of myself, Namin, and also obviously from Shwetank in the email too. And I think, look, finally, guys, look, we really hope you found today useful. Hopefully it has highlighted some areas that you can look into, a bit of more research to do perhaps, but hopefully this has been a bit of a kickstart to looking into how you're going to find that data to make those improvements to the site. So last but not least, I just want to say a massive thank you to you, Shwetank, for coming along. Really, really appreciate you doing this, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And this was the best place, I could do this. You guys are the best CRO agency out of the UK. So love the opportunity to doing this live teardown with you guys. And I've never been on a webinar which is as perfect Swiss timing like this one.
I think it's luck more than anything, Shretang, but yeah, there we go. I'll take that. But thank you very much. And Namin, as always, obviously I get to work with you every day, which is an absolute pleasure. Guys, I just want to say, look, from my point of view, Namin is an absolutely wonderful CRO strategist. She has created so much value for our clients, and I am very lucky that I get to count as one of my colleagues. So Namin, thank you very much for doing this with us today.
Thank you, Adam. I don't want to say anything actually after your
Great stuff. Well, guys, thank you all for tuning in. And as I say, we'll be in touch very shortly with the recording and all the bits and pieces you need. Cheers now.
Thank you, everyone. Take care. Cheers.